know. And I mean, Georgetown was a huge cultural icon back in the day. You knew somebody with a Georgetown starter, parka jacket on, and everything. They had famous alums like Patrick Ewing, Dikembe Mutombo, Allen Iverson. I can't remember if I said Alonzo Mourning or not, but and John Thompson was described as larger than life. He was a big 6'9", 6'10", huge person. He actually was the backup center for Bill Russell on the Boston Celtics back in the day, and was just notorious for being Georgetown basketball. There's all kinds of stories about him taking on like drug dealers in Georgetown, the way that they were trying to affect and come after his players. And one of the most famous things about him is that his players that he coached, they graduated at least 7% from Georgetown University. And for a fun fact, it's kind of hilarious to look at it now, but I thought Georgetown was an HBCU back in the day, just because everybody that was coming and graduating out of there, I didn't really know anything about Georgetown, but Georgetown is very, very not a HBCU. But if you just looked at their basketball team, you would definitely think that. But it showed that John Thompson was really about getting these kids educated, and won a national title, and did so much for the Georgetown University, and probably is the most famous black college basketball coach, I would say.
Yeah, I agree with all of that. Just a quick point of order in terms of his career. He did win the national championship in 1984. You already mentioned all the great players that played for Georgetown. He's real famous for having that long white towel over his suit and sweating profusely, obviously, on the sidelines. Allen Iverson credited him with saving his goddamn life. And so rest in peace to him. Huge figure in the world of basketball, and it's going to be missed quite a bit. You don't think of Georgetown basketball and maybe even Big East basketball without thinking of John Thompson.
All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you said that he won the national and you paused a little bit, I thought you were going to say the spelling bee.
Goddamn.
Wow. All right. Moving on to last but not least, we have Chadwick Boseman. Famed actor that played King T'Challa in the MCU's Civil War, The Black Panther, Infinity War, and Endgame, has passed away. Boseman's breakout role came as portraying basketball legend Jackie Robinson in the movie 42.
Wait, baseball legend.
Oh, I thought I said baseball. Did it sound like basketball? My bad.
It sounded like basketball. Okay.
Baseball. They went on to play James Brown in the film Get On Up, and then played Thurgood Marshall in the film Marshall. In 2016, he was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer, but continued to work while undergoing treatment. He died due to complications to his illness on August 28, 2020. He was 43. This one was strange to me because I saw Cronus post that Chadwick Boseman died, and I thought he was trying to prank us or something. I'm all, this can't be right. And sure enough, like reports were coming in. Everything was coming in. He had passed away because he was suffering from this illness. Like Blue had said, there were people questioning what was going on with him because he had posted pictures of him where he was really skinny, and people thought he was doing it for a role or that he needed to eat. They're definitely either questioning what was going on or outright, outright like roasting him because he didn't look good.
Yeah, he kept it all secret too, because like I don't think other than his inner people, like a lot of people didn't know that he was suffering from this. But this fool was still out there working, making these hit movies.
He was. It was crazy to me that people were showing, like foundations were showing, that he went to go visit terminally ill kids while during like the press junket of Black Panther, and all these kids were like, you know, we get to meet Black Panther. We can't wait for this film. There's the same snippet of where they're on the junket, and like to him it was just his work. He didn't understand why these kids were so excited, but two of the kids got to him. They're like, this is basically like Christmas to them. And then he started to understand how big this film was to him, and it broke his heart that some of them didn't get to live that long to see it. So, but he was there to show his support. But then, like Blue was saying, he was privately battling a certain form of cancer himself, but he still went out and saw kids that were dying or terminally ill, and he also was battling himself, which was tremendous. I didn't know that Denzel Washington helped support his acting career. Like Denzel went on Jimmy Fallon was saying like he saw Black Panther, but he asked for his money back because he basically loaned it to him so he could finish his acting career and whatnot. It was just tremendous stuff going on, like tremendous love. Like this affected a lot of people because the movie Black Panther made $1 billion. The majority black cast, black superhero. Everybody loved. A lot of people loved the film. I want to say everybody fucking loved the film, and to lose someone essentially so young was kind of hit a lot of people a certain way. So.
The one thing I was crazy about is that I thought this dude was in his 20s, to be honest. I didn't know he was our age. Like, holy shit, when I found out he was 43, I was like, wait, what? Like, holy shit. Like, he looks young. He's like the poster boy for Black Don't Crack. Him and Angela Bassett.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I thought he was. I would say I thought he was like 35. I didn't think he was like in his 40s, but I mean, I was still shocked that someone as relatively as young as him is gone. I mean, it just goes to show you never know what someone is battling privately. You're tomorrow's never promised. Just try to do your best, take care of yourself. I saw a lot of people saying, black males, we need to get checked up. We need to make sure that we're getting checked up and stuff like that. I think everyone should, try to keep their health up, not just us. So,
I mean, it was 4 years of him battling cancer, but I mean, he was in pretty good shape.
mm-hmm.
It's just showing that no matter how good of shape that you think you're in, you can still get hit by some debilitating disease that can, potentially end your life. It was really sad. I didn't. Shout out to my boy Patrick who messaged me. That's why I heard about it, is because he messaged me and he was like, Chadwick Boseman died, and I was just like, what the fuck? I was like, are you serious? Like, I didn't think it was real, and I saw it, and like, I didn't think, like, usually celebrity deaths don't like hit me so hard, but this is probably like one of the most difficult deaths for like me personally to deal with since like Anthony Bourdain, like kind of easily. Like when Anthony Bourdain died, that fucked me up too. And when Chadwick Boseman died, I was just like, this guy was in like the prime time of his career, and the fact that he, hid that he was going through a potentially life-ending disease and didn't say anything to anybody. He was visiting cancer kids in these treatment centers, didn't even mention that he had cancer as well. He was battling it for 4 years. He made multiple movies while going through chemotherapy and multiple surgeries and didn't say anything to anybody. I was just like, wow, it was like, oh shit, I don't know why my microphone just changed.
Yeah, you're literally, your volume just raised right on up.
Crazy loud. And I did
Vinny Base is already haunted.
Anyway.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah. To me, that was just like, it was noble. At least as far as like keeping your personal life personal still. Like the world didn't need to know, but I wish I did know, you know what I mean? Like what he was going through, because I mean, just to throw in some more support, it sucks that this guy died like this. And I'm going back through and like listening to some of his speeches. If y'all have a chance to listen to his Howard speech, it's an excellent motivational speech about his life coming up through, acting and like how he basically lost the role because he was asking too many questions about a basically shallow black character, and just his going through the industry and just how not to give up, and him, in the Black Panther film was so important to, Africans everywhere as well as obviously African Americans. But this is the first movie that I've seen personally in my life to where I saw the vast majority of America and the world really actually give a shit about Africa, even though it was, it wasn't a real place, but people cared about African lore because there was a lot of real African lore in there. And the fact that people were like, you would see kids of all ethnicities, doing the Wakanda, salute, doing the dressing up, cosplaying as Black Panther, you know, just like really being interested in African cultures, I think was so important for the world. And I think he recognized that after he played the role. Um, I don't know. It's just fucked up that he passed away like this. I wish we would have had him in, the next Black Panther, but I mean, they'll figure. We'll probably talk about it later on the podcast, but there's ways around, T'Challa dying in the MCU and Black Panther still going on. So I'll let the rest of y'all speak on.
Yeah,
Chadwick
I mean,
Boseman.
for me, don't get me wrong. I mean, we love MCU stuff. We love comic books and whatnot. But way more important than that, there's a young man that died at the age of 43. It was actually from colon cancer. Just so that we're clear on the cause of death. I gotta also give a shout out to his team. Boy, oh boy, were they strict on no fucking leaks. I mean,
Yeah.
this was not. You didn't see this shit on TMZ. You didn't see this shit on some tabloid bullshit. They kept his privacy, and I really got to salute them for that. This hit me hard. It's still kind of hitting me. He's in our age group. He was well loved, and he took roles deliberately that would had some integrity, had some great writing, and had some weightiness to them. They weren't just flimsy roles. And I even go back to his role in The Five Bloods that we talked about earlier this year, which was impressive as well. So he's got a catalog. Definitely go back. If you've only seen him in Black Panther, try to watch him in some other movies. They're all worth seeing, especially for his performances. And what pains me is he seemed like he was just getting started. I can't get over that part, man. Anyway, I'll give up the floor.
One cool thing I just want to point out too is that even though he was past, like he knew that he wasn't going to survive or be here much longer, he married his girlfriend so that she would be taken care of, which I thought was a really sweet gesture as like a going away thing, basically. But yeah, I mean, the guy was an amazing actor. I've actually only seen him in Black Panther and the Marvel movies, and I did want to see 21 Bridges, but I never got around to watching that. But I know it's on Netflix, and he also got like another movie, like something for the King or something like that. I think that's on Netflix, which I'm gonna be checking out.
So really quick, he has a movie coming out later this year on Netflix. It's called Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be released sometime later in 2020. There you go.
He's an icon. He brought representation to a lot of people when they saw Black Panther on screen. I mean, we know it technically wasn't the first comic book movie, but it was probably one that more people could obviously relate to than like Blade. So it was really cool for and the cool thing about it was it just wasn't a black thing. Like there were white kids, Asian kids, Latino kids that were dressing up like Black Panther, and they definitely loved the role, and he made people more interested in reading about Black Panther, learning about Wakanda, learning about Africa, and just it was really cool to just see what he was able to do just with how he portrayed the role. And it was really sad to read some of the stuff that like Ryan Coogler said when he was giving his love to Chad, and also Michael B. Jordan's. He gave like an Instagram post that was really long and really thoughtful, and was just like really like deep, and just in terms of like the friendship that they had and they developed over the time period from even before the movie, during the movie, and after the movie. And it just sucks when another person that you just don't know what the future had for them, especially because it was so bright for him. Yeah. I don't know if he had any kids or anything. I hope he did. It'd be cool for just to have that lineage to go on, stuff like that. two little cool things that I saw was that the state of South Carolina lowered their flags to like half mast, which was really cool. He's from, I guess, born in the state of South Carolina. And then it was unfortunately sad that on the same day that Major League Baseball was celebrating Jackie Robinson Day, was that the day that he passed away and everything. So you had everyone in Major League Baseball wearing the number 42 for Jackie Robinson, and then that happened.
Yeah, really, really sucked. But I mean, I guess the world goes forward. It's just terrible that it happened. So, R.I.P. the king of the dead, T'Challa.
Yeah.
That's all I'll remember him. All I remember is Chad as well. But, that's probably his most iconic role as Black Panther. So,
One cool thing I like how like I'm not sure if this was like legit or not, but we saw like pictures of kids kind of have like a memorial service for their little Black Panther action figure, and they have like all their other action figures on the side, kind of paying respect. Like I thought that was kind of cool to see floating around. Who knows how much of it was true, but it was still pretty cute to see.
All right, we pass this part now.
Oh yeah.
Sorry, it sucks. So I guess since we talked about something that was crazy depressing, we have something that's good to talk about. All right, so now that we're done talking about the unfortunate death of Chadwick Boseman, I will change the lights. So I changed the lights for talking about him. And there you go. Now we're back to white. As y'all know, we were working on the Infinity Base for years. Literally 2 fucking years. So hold on, I have to change the lights for a second. Turn all the lights on in here. But the Infinity Base is done.
Yeah.
For as far as like I moved in. Unfortunately, the rest of the guys can't be in the space right now. So I figured I would at least show you what the inside looks like a little bit better. I did an Instagram post and a Facebook post of like what it looks like. So I'll grab the camera so you guys can kind of look around just a little bit. So this is inside the building. That's the front. I have to work on that part to like soundproof the door. Obviously, it's not done. And like put some insulation in there. That's like a mat right there before I do jiu-jitsu and stuff. The floors are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right on.
Nice, really good.
Yeah, they look pretty good. Yeah. That's one of the windows. There's another window over there. It's a TV where I play video games. There's some miscellaneous comics, and this is like, this might be kind of weird, but this is like the actual setup. If you ever wonder what the setup looks like for the podcast, you get to get a sneak peek. So that's the actual setup of the podcast.
It's even on the OnlyFans page yet either.
Oh damn!
Yeah, on OnlyFans.
So those of you who are listening through this through just audio, you can go check out our YouTube page and you can watch the video, watch it there, see what the base looks like.
And these lights, they're I can change them, as you can see.
Yeah, go from purple, blue, green. You got all kinds of different colors going on.
Yeah, I can do all the colors and then just go back to white. It also goes to music too. So if I throw a party in here, it'll be pretty fucking dope.
How many coats of that black paint did you put on them walls?
2. And actually, there's a place here. If you look at the wall right here, over there.
Yeah.
That's where the logo is gonna go.
Nice.
So we're Kennett's gonna paint the logo of the podcast right there. Excuse me, right there. And I also have like a bunch of artwork and comics being posted on the walls. One of the first ones I'm going to do is, I think the guy's name is Ronan something.
Warrior?
No. He wrote us a letter, and then and he sent us, or sent me, or us, it's us, signed copy of Silver Silver Black.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to post his letter and the comic on the wall, along with a bunch of other like rare comics that I have, along with the Cape and Cowl edition of Black Panther.
Cool.
We post on the wall as well. I have a bunch of copies, and a few other like rare comics, plus a bunch of artwork and stuff like that. So yeah, it's nice to have an actual space. I can't wait to have the guys in here. The setup that I have currently will not support everybody else in here. I have to move the table over, but I have potentially months before I can see the rest of these guys in the same room. So for now, I'm just setting it up to where it's more convenient for me. I'll probably put the whole table on caster so I can move it around
That makes
when
sense.
people come in and move it back when people are gone. So
Dude, this is huge.
Yeah, the whole-
This is monumental.
yeah, you know what's funny is that Joe Rogan, like he's moving to Texas. And like his whole setup is it's actually eerily similar to ours. It's way more.
I was about to say,
But
we ain't got that Joe Rogan money now.
no, but like he has like the whole like kind of curved ceiling, but his is like way more curved.
Okay.
It looks like a spaceship. It's fucking amazing. That's what I aspire to. The table this is on right now, eventually I'll replace with something that's more suitable for the podcast, because this is only suitable for like me and like my work environment and some other stuff. Because it's kind of a curved table. I like to have a more straight table for all of us, so we can all sit and look at each other. Because if you ever notice, like when we're doing the podcast, like it's hard for me to look at people because they're like behind me.
Yeah.
So eventually, we'll change it up and but we got some time, and but at least for now, I moved in. The soundproofing works pretty good, except for the front door because it's not soundproof at all. But I can blast music in here and people can't really hear it.
It's good stuff.
Yeah, so it's nice. I can't wait for you guys to come see it and share this space
Dude, cheer.
with me and get the podcast going.
Super excited! I can't wait to
Just
that.
that.
I can't wait to each of us add our own little flavor to it. It's gonna be fucking.
Yeah. Bring in artwork, bring in whatever. We'll put them up on the walls. So we have some wall space.
No
I got
defecating Prodigy.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no carpets.
Well,
no
there's no
carpet
carpet.
shitting.
My kinks. Good fucking shit, y'all. Yeah, dude, that is exciting. It's a long time coming. That might be the best 2020 news we've gotten in a while, man.
Yeah.
Jesus
Exactly.
fucking Christ. Holy shit. Well, so you want to go jump back to some real life stuff, or?
I mean, it doesn't matter. Well, there's something that's on here that Stitch wanted. That's not on the list that Stitch didn't get to last week, and more news has come out this week. It's not on here, but I think we should put our sense on it before we get into some nerdy shit. And that is the Fort Hood.
Oh, yeah.
Fort Hood. Yeah. So Fort
fun.
Hood has got some shit. Take this away. You've been itching to talk about this. We didn't get to it.
Yeah,
last week.
well, that was last week. I wish I'd have prepped a little bit more because it's a little bit rusty in my head. But I don't even know the person's name. But there was another soldier from Fort Hood that turned up missing. That had, I guess, previously reported some sort of like sexual assault. I don't know if he was a victim of it or if he witnessed some sort of sexual assault of like a supervisor or something of some nature of that. But apparently they ended up finding this soldier. I believe he was strung up on a tree. And they were saying it was a suicide. I don't know what the investigation has turned up or the progress on that. This was just sort of breaking last week, so I haven't really been able to see too much news on it. I did see today that I guess I don't know if it's the command, I don't know the proper military term for who runs Fort Hood, what that person is in terms of like their rank, but I guess he's under some sort of investigation or he was removed. Which
he was removed.
Yeah, which I mean seems like it's something that should have been done for a good long while since there's been all kinds of crazy shit going on there. I saw like a article, it's breaking down the entire timeline of just people going up missing, turning up dead, scandals, and all kinds of stuff. I think they had, in 2020 alone, it was either 4 or 5 actual like murders. And then they have like a bunch of people, a bunch of like some disappearances that are kind of like undetermined, but they can't rule out foul play. It's just crazy shit going on there. And
holy shit! So the guy was a commander, and he lost his post, and they denied him transfer after the incidents at Army. So that right there, his whole career is basically done.
Good.
Like if they make you step down and you can't transfer anywhere, they're gonna kick your ass out.
Yeah.
So he's gonna lose like everything that he had. But it needs to be done. I mean, there were so many missteps. Sorry, Stitch, if you want to.
No.
I just want to.
You know more about the like the military aspect of it. I'm glad you jumped in and clarified that.
Yeah. So, listen, I've never been a fan of the Army since I went to Iraq. I'm a U.S. Marine. When I went to Iraq, one of the first things that I saw when I went there were signs saying that females shouldn't walk alone at night on this base in Iraq. And I was just like, what the fuck? What is going on here? Like this, I never ever saw any sort of signs like that in the Marine Corps. And the fact that in Fort Hood we have so many, deaths of soldiers, and it took so long for somebody higher up the chain to get to step down or get kicked or to have any kind of disciplinary action. It's just like, to me, that's like Army. That's the way the Army's been for years, as far as I'm concerned. That's what I personally experienced from like dealing with the Army, and it needs to stop. If that would have been the Marine Corps, immediately it would have been a whole chain of command that have been fucked. It wouldn't have just been just the commander. It'd have been platoon sergeants. It'd have been staff sergeants. It'd have been gunnies. It'd have been all the way up. There would have been investigations done pretty much immediately, and then folks would have been stepping down. I'll give you an example. This is like the shittiest experience that anybody probably might have had. Not the shittiest, but this is a shitty experience that I had in the Marine Corps. And this is when I first came in the Marine Corps. Okay, when I first came in the Marine Corps, this is a totally true story. I was a fucking total boot. This was like maybe a month or two after I came in the Marine Corps, and I went on a field op, and it was on like it was on a beach, and we got to stay in the barracks, which is kind of weird. It's not typical that you're in the field and stay in the barracks. But the guy that I was sharing the barracks room with, he smoked weed every day. And he asked me, he's like, hey, you want some? I was like, no, like, what the fuck? I'm like, you can't smoke weed in the Marine Corps. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I'm not gonna like suck and snitch on you, but it's just like, listen, man, I'm not smoking fucking weed. I'm fucking boot. I'm trying to stay in the Marine Corps. The fuck is wrong with you? But he had ways that I won't talk about, but he had ways around piss tests, because you got piss tests all the time in the Marine Corps. So, a couple months later, shit hits the fan, and they figured out that there was a gunny that was basically selling clean piss to people to pass piss tests. The gunny got reduced to a private and thrown in the brig. There was 10 people in my platoon that got thrown in the brig. One guy who never did, he's a good friend of mine. I'm not going to say his name. Well, I'll say his first name. His name is Jeremy, for whoever listens to this. He got thrown in the brig for guilty by association.
Damn.
The dude didn't pump on any piss test. That's how fucking for real the Marine Corps was.
By association?
Guilty by association.
Just because he hung out with
that's why. Yeah, that's why I got thrown in the brig. Totally true. Yeah. And I was just like, dude, what the? So he hated the fucking Marine Corps after that. But it's like, that's how extreme the Marine Corps will go to weed out fucking weakness. But the Army, on the other hand, we had basically a small mountain of deaths, of bodies, and nobody stepped down. There was no like legit investigation. There was no nothing. Like when the woman said that she got sexually harassed or sexually assaulted, that alone should have kicked off so many goddamn investigations, especially when she wasn't found. That alone, to me, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then another body shows up along with her body, and then another body, and another, and still their chain of command was intact. And I'm thinking, like, how the fuck is this chain of command still in command with a series of missteps? It just didn't make any goddamn sense to me. So, yeah, I'm glad that one guy got removed, but the shit needs to roll downhill. There needs to be at least 5 more Army people that need to be removed and thrown in the brig, as far as I'm concerned, for derelict of duty, not properly investigating fucking potential rapes and deaths within their own units. And so I will give them no kind of fucking leeway on this, because they had months to clarify this shit, and they did nothing.
So I don't get. I hear you. I hear what you're saying, Kronos, but I don't even get how there's no hearings about this. Like this seems like a low-level, localized epidemic of murders, like just flat out. Like what in the entire fuck? One is terrible, it sounds like you can count on maybe two hands over the course of the last
Oh yeah, yeah.
of the last year or less than a year, the amount of missing or confirmed dead. And these are people in uniform.
I'm glad you asked that. But just to clarify, a hearing, you can only have a hearing after an investigation was done.
Okay.
Right? If you have no evidence, there's going to be no hearing. And so for me, that's why I was like, why was there no investigation? Because there was clearly no real investigation done. Because they found bodies, and then all of a sudden, like, nobody was investigating, like, really what led up to those bodies being found. They weren't really investigating the claims that the first woman had of sexual assault. They were kind of flippant about it. And they found somebody else that was associated with that woman that also turned up dead. So I was just like, your investigation was piss poor at best, if it even existed at all. As far as I'm concerned, a real investigation didn't happen.
Yeah. And it also I know this is a very busy year. I get it. We got COVID, we got hurricanes, we got forest fires. I get it. This should have been an even bigger story, especially with the number of bodies. And you're talking about in uniform. It's about as disturbing as you could possibly get. It sounds like multiple, basically serial killers almost on base.
So I guess so this one is kind of misleading, but the report is that 26 soldiers have died on Fort Hood, but they lumped them in with accidents, suicide, homicide, illness, and pending cases, which I'm not sure what that. I guess they're trying to investigate those. Only one of the soldiers from Fort Hood has died in Iraq. Everyone else has died at home. So, because the one with the
dating back to when?
Where's this date start? It looks like this goes back as far as March 1st
of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of deaths in one place.
So it says
since March.
It says it's the most. Yeah, it says it's the most deaths ever at this establishment. So I mean, because there was the one where they're one soldier who died, and they're going after another soldier who might have knowledge, and that soldier killed himself.
Yeah, that was the last one, the Gillian thing, I think.
So that right there was a bunch of red flags to me, because that was the first case that I even heard about. And then more of these people going missing, bodies being found weeks later, more people go missing, bodies found later. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? You know, there's a bunch of conspiracy theories out there. I just want to know what a real investigation will turn up.
I mean, it also sounds, just to be clear, it sounds like there needs to be multiple. There needs to be an investigation into every missing or dead person, and then the people who knew to possibly have a linkage between those cases. Maybe there is a linkage, maybe there isn't. But holy fucking shit, man! That's multiple investigations on top of other investigations. So yeah. Anyway, I don't know. Okay. We can go. Was there anything else on that one, Stitch?
No.
All right. Did you guys see Lovecraft?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
All right. I have not, but please discuss it, man. Tell me what y'all thought of episode 3.
Ooh, who wants to dive in on this? Because a lot of craziness.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've been talking a lot, so why don't y'all go ahead?
The best I can describe this current episode, it felt kind of like an episode of American Horror Story, kind of. That's the best I can come up with. There was a preface about inner city Chicagoan African Americans who moved into a house and then disappeared, and they were never found again. That's literally the black screen text start of the episode. And then after the crazy events of last week, we literally start with Letty and her sister walking down the street talking about the house that Letty just bought. And I'm just like, what the hell? Like, are we even going to talk? There was a funeral at the very beginning, sort of, but it just shows her crying. But Letty ends up getting money and buying a house. It looks like the Psycho house from the 60s or whatnot. But Letty's like, oh, this is gonna be a fixer upper. I want you and me talking to her sister. I want us to be our house. Our mama left this money, and or she basically covers up that she got money from her mom. So she gets the house. They move it in. Apparently, the house has 13 rooms. Um, Letty wants to rent the rooms out to other, African American citizens that live in the area, and the neighborhood is like all white. So the people across the street, they're like looking through their windows. They're getting up. You can tell that they're not happy that a bunch of Negroes are moving into their block. So the moment they get all settled in, the white folks in the area start to do like a little protest. They park their cars right in front. They tie bricks to the horns, so the horns are blaring all night long, and then they're just sitting there at the edge of the property next to the cars, waiting for them to do something. And then the cops, there's a police car that rolls right down the street, just like driving through, waiting to see if something's going to happen, but they don't approach nobody. They just sit there and coast on through. So then it goes by days. I guess it's the course of, 13 days or whatnot. 14 days. Letty decides to have a housewarming party. So she's just like, hey, we're going to throw this huge party. Her sister's like, I don't know if the neighbors are going to like this because our neighbors already don't like us. But they throw a party anyway. Bunch of people were there. And then shit starts to get kind of fucking weird. Like, there's like, I guess, apparitions or whatnot in the house. There's voices. There's like this weird like room that's like, I guess no one knew about, that has like fully furnished. It's just craziness. Like Letty was taking pictures of people in the house or whatnot, and then she goes to her dark room and sees that it's like weird scratches or weird I don't know how to just like it looks like there's some figures or no, it's an episode. This is all in the episode.
Like
So
a haunted
Letty,
house kind of thing.
yeah, it's like literally a haunted house episode.
It's Lovecraft?
Yes.
Okay.
And so Letty takes the pictures that have the weird scratches in it. She puts it together and it forms a face. And then the face comes together and comes up out of the pictures, tells her to get out of the house.
God damn.
So she's just like, what the fuck? She gets out of the house, and then there's a cross burning on the front lawn.
What city are they in? What city are they in now?
Chicago, I believe, still.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see anything about them moving. Before like Letty gets mad, I mean, her and Tick have like they have the moment. They they basically have sex during the party, and it's basically what she wanted. Yeah, it's basically what she wanted, but we learned something about Letty that I'm not going to give away exactly. It's something interesting that you may have thought one thing, but something else. And we go back to the burning cross. Letty gets mad, gets a bat, comes through and just starts bashing the windows of the cars that are still there with their horns blaring. So the horns are blaring literally for like 24 hours.
God
the horns
damn.
are still going. She comes in, she bashes all the windows, and she knows, or actually she doesn't know. The rest of the people know that this is going to upset the rest of the neighborhood. So her sister pulls up the car, opens the trunk, and all the weapons that are in the house, because I guess there's like, everyone had a weapon, I guess. All the weapons get loaded into the trunk, and her sister drives away just when the police show up. Police show up to deal with the disturbance. Everyone surrenders, but then they take them what appears to be separate cars. But they put Letty in her car by herself, and the cop that's there, he starts asking her about the house. Like, how did you get the money for this house? Who helped you? Why are you in this house? You know what's going on in that house, don't you? And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you know what happened. You know that there were bodies that were found in the house. We found, I think he said 5 or 30 bunch of Negro bodies that were in this house, and they were dismembered or whatnot.
Damn.
And she's like, what? And she's like, who told you to move in this house? So they do like this. basically have these hooks in the back of the car or like straps. The cop
Yeah.
holds onto the strap. He like signals the driver, and the driver starts veering on the road, slamming
Rip
Letty
rod.
through like the walls of the car. As the cop keeps asking her like about the house, how did she get the money? What does she know about the house? Why did she move in and whatnot? And they just keep slamming her, into the walls
Yeah.
of the police car. What?
They did
Let's
some
get
Freddie
straight to
Gray
it.
type shit. They did some Freddie Gray type shit where they load her in the paddy wagon, bringing her to the police station, and then in transport she gets fucked up and everything.
Mhm.
He actually doesn't physically beat her up, but
No.
she's cuffed in the back of this like big ass like paddy wagon with not restrained or whatever, and they start driving crazy. So she's getting tossed all over the back of the transport
Paddy
area.
wagon.
Yeah.
Letty's played by Smoothie's sister, right?
Sommeliers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Juicy Smoulier.
Yeah. You were gonna add, you had a question, Prodigy?
No. Continue. I
what
thought
I
Stitch
was-
was going to do it.
What I was gonna say was, for the second time I've noticed they do these like weird jumps or whatever in terms of like how they're telling the story, and it seemed like I had to go back because I thought I missed something, but after you see her getting sort of tossed around the jail cell, I'm sorry, the back of the
Transit.
vehicle, it like goes to a completely different thing. I'm like, well, okay, so how did this whole thing like end? And to get out, it just some of the storytelling is a little weird. And Chronostar touched on it, I guess, 2 weeks ago, where they jumped from like the dinner, all of a sudden they're sprinting down some stairs in the outdoor barn. And I'm like, wait a minute, what did I miss something or whatever? And it's just cut weird. And another thing,
Hold on. I'm glad you said that because you know what's funny is that Matt actually talked about it. So apparently there's like a scene where they show like how far away where they was in like a cut scene, but it wasn't clear to me and I guess to you, so I'm assuming to others
okay.
of like how far away all this shit was. Because when I first watched it, I was just like, how'd they get there? But yeah, there are some weird editing issues that are still happening. It's still enjoyable, but yeah.
I assumed. I mean, it was just weird storytelling. It's just like, okay, well, why are they running? They were at dinner 2 seconds ago. Why are they sprinting down some stairs? Did I miss a line or some sort of like emergency situation? But they're just running downstairs, and I forget what the hard jump cut was to in this past episode, but I kind of noticed that as well. And I was just like, okay, whatever.
Well, I think there's a few in this one because like we never see Letty get taken to the station. It jumps to like the next day. It literally goes after Letty is given information about the house. She didn't know that there was murder. She didn't know people went missing, and she didn't know. I think the house was set on fire or something like that.
Yeah, because I mean,
go ahead.
I was gonna say because I was waiting for something crazier to happen because you can't just go start bashing away people's cars or in 1950 something Chicago or whatever. I mean, it's gonna in theory get you more than just like a trip to the jail or whatever. I thought she was in more of a dire circumstance, especially because she went up and down the street just beating the shit out of those cars with the bat.
Oh yeah.
Then I'm trying to remember the actual sort of chronological events of it, but essentially she gets back home, and well, I guess they decide they're going to do this like seance kind of thing.
Yeah, well, she investigates the home, and she asks Tick to help her through the pictures, and she finds out that there was some kind of doctor that had the house. He was a white doctor, and people went missing, and
he's doing like experiments and shit.
Experiments, yeah, he was doing experiments, and they believe it was on Negro people because those people were never seen again. And
so they get this voodoo lady that looks like Aunt Jemima come through. Literally, they cut a goat's neck right on the front porch. I think the white kids see it or whatever.
Yes, they see it.
They're plotting or whatever. Because they were like, "Oh, you fucked up our cars. We're gonna fuck you up," or whatever they were gonna do. They go inside and they're gonna have their little exorcism, I guess, of the boiler room that was in this house. The house is pretty crazy. There's this elevator that goes. It's like an old school elevator that's raggedy as fuck.
Oh yeah.
Almost takes her fucking head off the first time. She pokes her head in the doorway. She's just like, "Oh, we're gonna fix that." It's like, no, I'm never getting on that bitch. But it was foreshadowing something a little bit later. So they go in the basement. They have their seance, and while they're having their seance, they're talking about don't break hands or whatever. They're doing their chants and everything, and then the three white boys break into the house. They're looking to with bats. They're looking, I guess, to fuck them up and everything. And during this whole process, you start to see these ghosts start to appear. It reminds me of the movie 13 Ghosts, where you have these different, you have these distinct, weird-looking things. There's this one guy. It just reminded me of Big Baby, like this guy with a basketball jersey on, who's got a head of a baby on it, like an infant or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's just crazy. And there's a couple other characters. There's one that's got this like weird ass jaw.
She has no jaw. She has no jaw. Her jaw's gone.
They start roaming around the house and crazy shit like that, and they end up fucking up the kids and stuff while this whole seance going on. They in the basement. They start to, I guess, see the ghosts that were there at the house, which looked to be experiments that this white crazy doctor did and everything. And actually, the spirit jumps into the voodoo lady and starts choking the shit out of Tick. Then transfers over to Tick, and Tick starts fucking up Letty and crazy shit. And the Seance eventually just fucking whatever expels the ghost and everything. And the three white kids, they end up getting murdered in the house, and you see at the end that they're sort of in the basement still to make the sort of story, I guess, short. But crazy shit going on. Then also at the very end, you see I like to call her Emma Frost. She shows up and everything, and Tick is like, "Bitch, why the fuck you here? I thought we were done." And she's got this Professor X power, where actually, just like you fucking Emma Frost, just like paralysis power, where she can just like stop you from doing whatever the fuck it is that you were doing, because Tick tries to pull a gun on her, and she sort of just freezes him, and it's just like, yo, we got business to talk about. This ain't over. La 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 la. And there's going to be, I guess, some more craziness going on. I don't know if it's going to be tied to the house, or if they're going to go back to where the old building was at, but they sort of explain his sort of blood right and all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, it was. I really don't think that I think it's gonna be like Cronin said, it's gonna be like a Twilight Zone, but yet it involves the same people. I really don't think it's gonna go back to anything. It's gonna be something new. It's gonna be something crazy. I'm pretty sure they're gonna be in some canals or something next episode. They're gonna be investigating more stuff about the past, and probably more crazy shit's gonna happen.
It definitely sounds like an episode of American Horror Story.
It literally felt like, to me, it literally felt like the Murder House season.
It's like the Murder House. It's like the Murder House and the Louisiana episode. I can't remember what that was called.
Oh, the Coven? Yeah, Coven, the witches. Yeah, kind of like that.
No, this one took place in Louisiana. Oh, yeah, it was Coven. Yeah,
Coven took place in Louisiana. I mean,
Cronus, well, hold on. Cronus, what was your thoughts? You saw it. Did you like this episode, or?
Yeah, I like the episode. I mean, and especially, I think that people that are watching this that don't know about real American history might not have realized that these things really happened. Like when you had just a black family move into a predominantly white neighborhood in the 50s and 60s, you would be met with violence. And it was violence that was federally and locally approved. They would not help you. They were not going to send the police officers to help you at any time. They were there to facilitate violence against those people. And it was a particularly difficult time for African Americans to live in America because they thought that, hey, we can own property like everybody else. We were told we were guaranteed these rights. We can live wherever we want. In the meanwhile, if you bought a home in somewhere where you didn't show up first and you didn't realize that, hey, this is an all-white neighborhood, and all of a sudden you move in and then you have a cross burning on your fucking lawn, it's like, what do you do?
Yep.
This is like what we talk about when it comes to generational wealth. This is why, one of the main reasons why African Americans are so far behind other ethnic groups, because other ethnic groups didn't have to worry about shit like this back in the day. You know what I mean? First of all, a lot of them, they didn't move into predominantly white neighborhoods. They kind of kept to their own. But if you were African American coming from the South and you moved up, you were told that, there's freedom in the North. So you moved to the North, you bought a house, pretty much sight unseen, or you might have visited it once or twice. You're like, oh, this is a good neighborhood. You move you and the rest of your black family in, and then all of a sudden you realize that your neighbors don't want you there.
Yep.
And they will use violence to get you out of there. And this episode really, really highlighted that. And this is why I kind of compare this show to The Watchmen, because it shows that soft underbelly of America that people don't want to realize. They want to dismiss it. They want to talk about how slavery was so long ago, dismissing all the other atrocities that were done to people that look like me, in much more recent years. And it still perpetuates to today. Segregation is actually more prevalent today than it was back then.
That's correct.
It's just people don't want to talk about it. And when you talk about it, and when you talk about systematic racism, people just want to shut it down right away. Don't get me wrong, I was sort of on the side of like shutting it down right away. You know what I mean? Like previously in my life, it's like when we talk about systematic racism, I was like, I'm good, so why isn't everybody else good? That is the most stupid ass shit that I've said in my entire fucking life. Like I cannot expect everybody to have been as fortunate as I have, even though like I worked for everything that I got. You know what I mean? I didn't go through any kind of fucking affirmative action or anything like that. I worked hard for what I got. But I also recognize now that there are people that they will never get the opportunities that I got for whatever reason, and people they don't want to realize that. Like just realizing that somebody can be unfortunate today through the way our system is set up, it makes them uncomfortable, so they immediately go to, well, it cannot exist. And for them not to even realize that it does exist is a serious problem. And when we see it to this day, I mean, Jesus Christ, just I think it was today or yesterday, our president, when asked about systematic racism, what did he say? He said, what about riots?
Yep.
That's what we should focus on, these riots. It's like, you don't understand that the riots are directly associated with systematic racism in America. The fact that he doesn't realize that guarantees that riots will continue.
Well said.
And like to kind of piggyback off of the whole, so there's a story of a black couple that lives in this white area, and ever since they moved in, their neighbor's been trying to get them out. Like they've been like, every time they walk by the house, like they literally shit on their property. They're like yelling and cursing at them while they walk by their houses. They've had friends walk by with guns, try to scare them out. They have like loud fucking like music playing just to try to get these people out. And like the community, like this was posted somewhere, and eventually like people came and like helped this family out to try to keep these people from terrorizing them, basically.
Yeah.
And like that just shows like this. And this is probably like maybe a week or two ago when I read this article. So this shit's still going on, which is fucking crazy.
Yeah.
The one of the points that I wanted to point out in the show is there's a scene that there's a group of kids doing this like Ouija board, and I saw online that one of the kids is actually Emmett Till, the kid that talks.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I saw the one that when he asked like, "Oh, am I gonna have a good trip?" or something like that, and the Ouija board is like, "No." They showed a picture of like his outfit, and then when Emmett Till looked back. And I guess, and even the nickname that they called him was his actual nickname, I guess, that he had in Chicago. And it was really
That's fucking deep.
awesome to like see. I didn't know it at the time or was completely aware of it because I mean I knew the story, but I never knew who he looked like or anything.
So tell the story since you're already talking about Emmett Till. Tell us because people might not know listening to this podcast who Emmett Till was. So please explain what happened to Emmett Till.
Emmett Till was a 14-year-old kid that traveled from, I believe, Chicago to maybe Mississippi.
You got it.
Okay. During the court, I can't remember if he had family down there or what his actual reason for going down there was.
Family, yeah.
But I guess at a sort of convenience grocery store or whatever like that, he was accused by this woman. And I looked it up recently, and I can't remember her name specifically because I wanted to be like, fuck this bitch. But she accused of being, I guess, harassed by, just so as a general term, harassed. Like I don't remember if he said he touched him, but he sort of talked to a white woman the way he was not supposed to, especially down south, whether it be he was hitting on her or whatever. And what happened was she told her family and her brother-in-law or something like that.
Real quick, I can tell you her name because I just want to say fuck that bitch.
Yeah.
Her name is Carolyn. Jesus Christ, Carolyn Bryant Donham.
Yeah, I knew it was a D. But
Yeah.
so her I guess family member, brother-in-law or whatever, went out, found the kid, and ended up just brutally murdering him, like butchering him and murdering him.
Can I add something real quick?
Yeah.
This 14-year-old black boy, falsely accused. Let me just also say that too. Completely false. The woman on her almost near her deathbed admitted to fucking lying. But I'll come back to that in a second. They treated him, to use another historical analogy, they treated him like Mussolini, like what the Italians did after World War II to Mussolini's fucking body. But kudos to his mama. This is the start actually of the civil rights movement in a lot of ways. His mama said, "I want an open casket funeral so the world can see what they did to my son." And the pictures from that, this is when there was a black press in terms of BET, or not BET, I'm sorry, Jet Magazine and Black Enterprise and a whole bunch of black journalism, took photos that went all over the fucking world showing his mutilated body in that casket. And because he was so young and because he was mutilated, that struck a chord with people like John Lewis, people like MLK, all these other civil rights icons said, God damn, they destroyed this young man. Go ahead.
You know what's crazy is that he died August 28th, which kind of correlates with the episode being played. So that's fucking crazy. That's good ups to them for pulling that shit all together.
So they put the murderers, we'll just call them what they are. They put the murderers on trial down in the South. The jury found them not guilty, and eventually, like years later, I don't know if it was years or months later, but he was just openly talking about it, just like, yeah, I did it, whatever, and sort of admitted to it. Based on what I read about, I guess, how it was handled, as time went on, they realized, I guess the society down there realized how kind of fucked up it was, and so he lost his business and all kinds of stuff, and had to change his name, and essentially ran out of town for essentially murdering and then bragging about it or whatever, which obviously was not nearly as just as what should have happened to him and everything. He ended up dying, I want to say 2005 or 2012-ish or something. So I think it wasn't all that long ago where he actually died. But the lady, or whatever, not Dorner, but bitch name, whatever the fuck her name is, she ended up saying, and pretty much coming clean, saying, yeah, she fabricated the story, embellished, and everything. That's a crime. She doesn't fall under the double jeopardy thing because she was not tried and found innocent. So this is something that happened in the 50s. You knowingly, willingly lied about a crime that ended up getting somebody killed. And I mean, she's still around. Yeah, she's still alive, I believe.
Really? I thought she died. Well, okay, maybe she is. I don't know.
I'll double check. Maybe she just died. I think she's still alive. If someone can just, if old Ninja or Kronos can just fact check that real quick.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll look it up.
Yeah, but her location, I think, is sort of just kept secret right now, based on what they were saying. Like, they don't really know where she is, or whatever.
Yeah, she's still alive. She's 86 years old.
Oh, shit.
She needs to be in fucking jail.
Oh yeah.
And when I say jail, I'm a fucking maximum security penitentiary is where she deserves to be. She does not deserve to be free.
That's too nice.
Fuck her.
She needs to be in a sweaty outhouse, in the South, with a trough of water to just supply all her needs. To drink, piss, whatever. She gets 1 bucket of water a day.
She needs to be in Devo's pigeon coop sweating like a slave.
God damn. But again, like Kronos alluded to, I got to give props to HBO where props are due. You know, Watchmen started a conversation for a lot of people who'd never heard of Black Wall Street and all of the Tulsa stuff. This show is bringing up, you know, sundown towns and obviously Emmett Till and a lot of other things. So props to them for using, you know, historical accuracy to tell a fictional story and doing it well. And then, you know, what you should do is start reading. You know what I mean? Reading, watching some documentaries, and learning a little bit more about these great things.
Yeah.
I know, Kronos, you talked about you started reading some new Jim Crow book, and I see that, you know, this kind of took place in that Jim Crow era.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean, I've been reading, you know, this is what's weird. All right. So so obviously we have a website. All right. And so me and Prodigy, we've been reading, like, Prodigy's been reading a lot of books about these sorts of issues way before me. So props to him, first of all. I'm semi-new to educating myself on, like, a lot of these issues. But there's, like, a lot of books out there that I think people should read to really understand these issues. You know what I mean? Because a lot of this shit is, like, it's hidden history, but it's not really fucking hidden if you just look for it. You know, it's just slightly inconvenient for you to find, which I don't think that's hidden. Like, if I want to look up, like, racism in America to this day, you know, even through history, like, you can easily find it. And if you need a curator for it, if that needs to be, you know, Prodigy giving you book suggestions or me giving you book suggestions, then we'll do that. We talked about it, you know, a couple of weeks ago, even a couple months ago, about actually dedicating a portion of our website into just book suggestions onto how to educate yourself on these issues. Because what I see from my friends, you know, on Facebook and just through, like, society, is that people are just not aware of just all this racist history in America. And it's easier for you to just not see it, because if you're not looking to, like, educate yourself, then of course you won't see it. It's like me saying I don't understand Swahili because I didn't research fucking Swahili. It's like, no shit, you know? So I think that most people, before you say that, you know, America, you know, our society isn't racist at all, is that we don't have issues today, you need to actually look up the issues that we're having today. And for me, I think that one of the main books is The New Jim Crow, when it comes to, like, a lot of issues with African Americans. I think that's, like, probably a good primer. And the reason why I think it's a good primer is because it's a book that talks about slavery after the 13th Amendment. Because the 13th Amendment, if you look at the wording, it leaves in slavery in the actual amendment. Is if you're incarcerated, you are still you're going to be a slave. That's the wording, and you can fucking read it right now if you want. Just go look it up. And so that is why we have so many people that are minorities in incarceration today. That's why we have crimes. We have laws that are written to put them in prisons. It's to put them back in slavery, and that's a huge problem. And the reason why I really like the book is because I think a lot of folks, when they get into this, new education on civil rights, is that they get angry when they're told, certain things and angry about, possible resolutions. This book doesn't give you any fucking resolutions at all.
Nope.
It just tells you the goddamn facts. That's all it does. It tells you the facts on what's going on, what happened in the past, what's going on to this day, and they give you no resolutions whatsoever. To me, when I finished reading that book, it was fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Because you didn't give me any way how to fix this. Yeah, but then that's when you read more books, and you kind of go. And what's funny is because you end up reading books that reference that book, and then that book referenced that.
Yeah.
Book. So it's kind of fucking weird.
Welcome to nonfiction. I love it.
Yeah. So it's a very strange, weird loop, but I think it's really good. I think that if more people would actually look uncomfortable things up, then they'd be better off for it. Our society would be better off for it rather than ignoring it. So y'all go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
One quick thing, I know the one thing, because doing this podcast, I feel like I've learned a lot about Black history. Literally, I did not know about Black Wall Street. That scene from Watchmen, I was like, holy shit! And you guys were talking about that was an actual fucking thing, and I went back and looked it up, and I'm like, holy shit, this happened in fucking history. Damn, here we are trying to, Black folks trying to get this shit together, and motherfuckers got mad and decided to bomb them. And that led me down to, how there was Black people who had just came back from fighting the Civil War, and, literally they were there to try to protect the community from being raided and stuff like that. So they held arms to try to fight back, all these people trying to destroy the Black Wall Street. But the other thing that threw me out for a loop was the whole Uncle Tom thing, because the Uncle Tom thing was a known thing. It's somebody who's a traitor, somebody who this and that. Uncle Tom was somebody who loved the white folks, and then learning that was not the fucking truth whatsoever.
Total lie.
It
was a total lie.
Yeah, he was the one that was trying to protect people. He wasn't snitching on nobody. He was constantly getting beat and stuff like that to try to protect the outside slaves and stuff like that. Holy shit! I feel like my whole life history has been fucking changed just because of not educating myself, but then also not knowing the truth. Basically, you've been taught one thing, and that's basically what you run with.
Can I? And I listen. I'm super proud of everybody on this cast, all of our listeners, and all of that stuff. I'll say this too: even if for whatever reason you don't feel like you have the time to dive into some nonfiction or history books, that's okay. There's some actual documentaries that do the same thing. It's a condensed version, an hour and a half on, or 2 hours, that'll talk about these same things from the New Jim Crow by Michelle Alexander in Ava DuVernay's 13th, which is a Netflix documentary. So there's no excuse. There's easy, short, condensed versions in some documentaries that will also reference some of these books. But we're going to put it on the website. We're going to keep talking about this stuff. And, whenever any of us stumbles across a really good recommendation, we'll talk about this. This show is half awesome recommendations.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's crazy to me is that, listen, documentaries are great. And I love documentaries. But Audible, maybe we'll get a fucking Audible goddamn sponsorship in the near future. But to me, I listen to the vast majority of my books. At this point, it's 100% of the books that I consume are through Audible. You can literally listen to these books while doing something else. I clean my house. I sit there and watch my kid. I do all kinds of other shit listening to books. I listen to probably, in an average month, probably it might be close to 500 hours.
Wow, yeah.
Of book content, probably, seriously. And I have to. What's weird now is that I've split my time because when I listen to too many, I'll just put it in the civil rights category. Okay, when I listen to too many civil rights category books, I'm like slowly turning into Malcolm X. All right, so I have to like offset. I can only listen to maximum two civil rights books at a time, just two in a row. And after that, I have to listen to something else. Usually, it's like a lit RPG or some fucking sci-fi shit. Because I can't listen to them back to back to back. Because I'm gonna be the next goddamn angry ass black dude that's I'm black, y'all. I'm black. I just
CB4.
Yeah. Like I need to like calm myself down. Like listen, my life is okay.
Yeah.
I understand that. As far as like everybody that are African Americans, as a whole, we're still being shit on. But I am okay.
Yeah.
But this is why I'm elevating these stories on this podcast to let everybody else know that we are not okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's the main problem.
Can I?
Is that people don't realize that we're not all okay.
Can I? I'm gonna grab the wheel just a little bit and switch it up. We've talked about this man before, but holy shit, I got to give more props. John Boyega is out here coming for necks. He's doing interviews. I think this latest one was Vanity Fair, spilling all the goddamn tea.
It's GQ. He's on the cover of GQ.
Sorry. GQ. Sorry. I want to get it right. Holy shit. He's saying exactly some of the things that we've talked about on this show for literally years since we've been on the air about how, The Force Awakens, you introduce this very dynamic, interesting character that's a stormtrooper that's deflects from the dark side, basically. And
he's a woke stormtrooper. He woke.
Yeah, sure. But he uses a lightsaber in the first movie. And Boyega, according to Boyega, he was not happy at all in the last two movies in terms of Finn's demotion, in terms of his importance and character development. And he even gave some props to Kelly Moran Tran, right? In terms of them doing the same thing to her.
Marie Tran.
Marie Tran. I'm sorry. I want to get it right. I like her. I've never been one of these people that shit on her. I thought she was pretty good in her roles, but they should. According to John Boyega, they got the short end of the stick.
Well, I know was one of the huge things with John Boyega character Finn was that in that episode, was it episode 8 or 7? Was it 7?
Force Awakens or the ones after?
Yeah. The first one where we get introduced to Rey and all of them.
That's 7.
With Finn, it looks like, so for 7, it seems like Finn and Rey were going to have a relationship because they have that, like, a little bit of a flirting, like he was into her and then flirted around and this and that. And then all of a sudden she goes for Kylo Ren and like Finn basically gets fucking demoted to nobody. Like he's basically a coward because he's trying to flee or whatever.
You're not wrong. You're not.
Nope.
But I'm telling you, rewind that tape. Ever since The Force Awakens, I was like, no, Reylo is happening. Reylo is a thing. I seen it in their eyes. They doing it.
Well,
Finn ain't getting no pussy.
Let's be totally honest. I mean, like when we first saw the trailers for, was it The Force Awakens?
Mm-hmm.
That was the first one, right? The first of the latest ones.
Yep.
We saw John Boyega and we're like, holy shit, the main character is black.
Yeah.
Like, and we saw that he was in a stormtrooper outfit, and that I think they even showed him with a lightsaber.
They do. So
maybe
he basically points out that he was marketed as the main character because I literally have one of my backgrounds used to be on Facebook was him with his lightsaber. And it's supposed to be about like a wallpaper image, and that's what they were selling. And when you watch the film, it does like the okie doke on you, and you're like, "Wait, what?" I mean, granted, I was cool with it.
Well, hold on. Let Carlos finish. Hold on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, it's along the same lines. Like I totally understand his frustrations after the fact. Is that the way the story is being sold? Like when the first original trailer came out, I thought John Boyega was the main character.
Yeah, I'm watching right now.
because that's the way it seemed to me. And I thought that Daisy Ridley,
Mhm.
Ridley. Last name Riley, yeah, Daisy Ridley. I thought that she was like a co co-character or whatever the fuck you want to call it.
Co-star.
I didn't realize it's a co-star. Yeah, there we go. When I first saw it, I was just like, I thought that he was the main character, and it was very strange to me. Like when I watched it, don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed the movie. It wasn't something that I really thought about up until I read his comments about the movie. I was like, holy shit, man, you're right. Because when I first saw the trailer, I was like, we're gonna get this guy as being like a main character. Yeah, that'd be dope as fuck. And I remember all the hate that came down too. Like, remember when the hate that came down about somebody black being a stormtrooper, and they were talking about how, oh, he's not a fucking not a Mandalorian clone, and they resolved that right away. And in the subsequent movies, though, they didn't really develop his characters as well as other characters, and that was very strange to me. I mean, he wasn't even at a Han's level character. And that, to me, it was just like, you use this guy as like your headline. In the first trailer, he was like your headliner, and you relegated him, and you made his role less and less and less over all the subsequent movies. And it was just it was kind of fucked up, So I get his frustrations.
Yeah, old Ninja, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I think in the article, he literally points out that the marketing was centered around him. But when you watch the film, it's about someone else. And that someone else became insanely popular. Now, granted, I was cool with The Force Awakens, but...
Oh, he dropped.
Awesome.
You still there?
I think his... What?
Yeah.
Am I not here?
You're back
Oh.
now.
I must have dipped out.
You're already upside down.
Yeah, his role in The Last Awakens, I felt with Rose should have been different. I felt that they should have had an adventure that was more impactful to the story, and I felt like their role wasn't as meaningful. But because to me, what was more meaningful was Kylo and Rey, at least in The Last Jedi. And The Rise of Skywalker, I mean, he's there, but I feel like him and Oscar Isaac.
Did we lose you again? Goddamn.
Looks like it.
Share like about the same amount of my back.
Yeah, man, you're coming in and out.
Yeah, you cut.
Yeah, internet's acting kind of weird, but really quick, Oscar and John had the same amount of screen time in Rise of Skywalker. When I felt like maybe if he's one of the top ones, he should have a little bit more time. So there you go.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. I'm not hating on Rey Daisy Ridley at all. I thought she did a good job all the way around. I didn't mind her being the lead. I thought that was absolutely fine. You don't need to do a love triangle per se. With Finn, you can certainly go in your own fucking direction. I get that, but yeah, some more development was certainly needed. And now that it's over, I do like John Boyega speaking out because. Some of the fan base, and we've talked about the Star Wars fan base ad nauseum on this fucking cast, is fucking evil, just straight up evil and racist. And you saw that towards both him and Rose over these last two movies. Actually, for Finn over the last three.
So racist and sexist because there were so many people that were pissed about Rey's character in The Last Jedi. And I was like, why are y'all mad? I guess because I didn't think in that matter, like a girl couldn't be powerful, but they were freaking out. And they were like, there were literally some people saying that Star Wars are basically for boys and men and girls shouldn't be allowed. Literally saying.
Yeah. Which was, you're cutting out, but which was absolutely nuts.
Type of shit. And I'm just like.
Well, I was just going to say, because the other thing that was so odd about that is everybody I knew, boys and girls, growing up, loved Princess Leia. I know she was one of the few female characters in the original trilogy. I get that. And probably there should have been more. But everybody loves Leia. Like nobody shit on anything close to Princess Leia from jump, right?
Yeah, people were fapping to her. That Leia costume, right, Stitch?
Damn.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
I don't hear any
damn.
problems going on with Velociraptors or anything like that. Why don't we hear any problems on the set of Jurassic Park with this?
I don't see any hot Velociraptor outfits. I'm just saying. But Stitch, you're super hot wearing that Slave Leia outfit. I'm just saying.
I
Turn me gay
am
for
a man of my word. When I lose a bet, I honor the bet. Let that marinate.
Yes,
Unlike Prodigy. Unlike Prodigy.
that's fine.
Oathbreaker.
Oathbreaker.
It is what it is. What's this Bella?
Real quick.
Are you going to Bella?
We can hop on both these things. I do want to get to Bella. I don't know whose boy I'm going to assign this one to. I'm going to assign it to Old Ninja's boy, Ron Jeremy.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
We ain't going to be seeing him for a long, long time. So we do a RIP, it looks like.
Damn. Old Ninja might be cutting in and out.
I'll talk about it then.
I think government come from
So, I'm going to say, except for the potentially
I haven't said anything yet.
person that he may have raped. So, because there are accusations at this point. Listen, if he did it, he did it. Fuck that guy. Let him go fucking away forever. But it's very strange when you hear about a porn star being accused of rape. That is like fucking rare as shit. So I'm gonna let this play out. But obviously, if a 15-year-old is coming forward and saying that she got raped by him, then that's not porn. That is obviously rape. It's very strange that at one point recently that all of a sudden all these accusations came out from somebody that previous to these accusations was pretty much respected in the porn industry. Pretty much. I mean, I haven't heard any negative shit about him in the porn industry. But yeah, if he gets convicted, if what they say is true, that he raped like 20 plus women, Jesus Christ, throw him under the jail. It's terrible.
Okay, so here's my take. That is a lot. Like one accusation is one thing, and we just finished talking about the whole Emmett Till situation. This does not seem like this seems like where there's smoke, there's fire, and 20 is a fucking lot. That's what I will say. I will wait, but 20 is a goddamn lot of accusations.
It's Bill Cosby territory.
Yeah, that's a whole fucking lot. And the other thing is, again, these are allegations and whatnot. I'm being careful with my words, but it sounds like this was not having anything to do with the porn set or the filming. This was him out in the world. Basically, it sounds like being accused of raping some would-be groupies, and then being too forceful and forcing himself upon them.
That is so odd to me because, like, listen, you can literally fuck sex professionals that's your job. Mm-hmm. You can fuck why would you fuck a goddamn normal force yourself upon a normal person when you know the person you're working with can throw that ass in a circle?
Well, I mean, to kind of
what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
This is gonna be a silly analogy, but like when I work retail, I would fold clothes during retail, but when I would come home, I'll be so fucking sick of folding clothes and be like, I'm just throwing the fucking laundry off to the side. Like, you do your job so often that when you come home,
oh my god.
So, I'm not condoning what he did, but I'm just saying, like, you can be fucking all of these hot chicks and stuff like that.
Did you fuck your clothes? But did you fucking clothes? That's what I'm asking.
I don't know what the party scene could have been like or anything like that. That's a world that doesn't look like any of us will be ever privileged to knowing what goes on behind the scenes of the adult industry.
You know what? We have to ask somebody. We have got our back.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
though.
Yeah,
she's always been pretty honest. Well, actually, extremely honest with us in the podcast. So we can ask about the industry again. You know.
Yeah. I mean,
or libraries. Jesus
it is a lot.
Ask about libraries.
I mean, go ahead, Sid.
I mean, it comes down to it. I mean, no means no. I mean, we've seen Bill Cosby. A good example is like Darren Sharper. Prodigy knows who that is. All-pro NFL safety, good-looking dude or whatever, and he's in the jail now for raping all these women and stuff like that. And I mean, this was years ago, and people were like, "What? Why does he need to go out? He's got money. He's got all this stuff." It's just, I don't know. I guess maybe when people just aren't used to being like, what do you mean you're going to turn me down? Like, you know who I am? And it's just like, maybe they get pushy. I don't know. It's crazy. I will say I've met Ron Jeremy once before at a party. This was at a club in New Jersey. He was doing like one of these like sort of appearances at this place called like Sandbar. And it's in Jersey City. Like, you know, it's an indoor-outdoor sort of bar. The outdoor part, you can actually like see the Statue of Liberty. It's a really cool like venue. And me and my good friend Dalton were there, and we knew Ron Jeremy was supposed to be there. It was kind of like he was there, and they were promoting that. Oh yeah, porn star Ron Jeremy. So we're like, oh, he's gonna bring his groupies with him. So of course we're there. So, yeah. And he walks in, and I notice him, and I looked it up yesterday to just see how actually tall he is. And on his Wikipedia and everywhere I looked, it says 5'6". He is not 5'6". There's no fucking chance he is 5'6". I'm 5'5", 5'6" on a good day, depending on what Nike shocks I'm wearing. He was like at my like nose eye level. So he's like 5'3", in a short pudgy, looking like Mario from Super Mario and everything. I shook his hand, talked to him for a second, be like, "Oh, great to meet you," blah blah blah, or whatever. He was real friendly. Obviously, he wasn't trying to sleep with me or anything like that. So he was cordial.
I have a question though. Along the same lines. How did his nut taste?
Oh, God. Yeah. He ate a lot of pineapple.
I do not know.
Quite terrible. So, I don't know why he's my boy.
He's in jail for...
But it was Prodigy who pointed him out to me when we were at Comic-Con a few years ago. We got pictures with him, actually. But...
Oh, shit.
They're actually on, I think, our Facebook page and Instagram. But yeah, we ran into him at Comic-Con. He was promoting something, but we got pictures with him or whatnot. So there you go.
I'm going to just say this too. I can't put my mentality, and I don't want to put my mentality in the head space of anybody who's a sexual assaulter at all. You just got some sick, warped ass shit going on in your fucking head. If you still want to keep going with someone who is letting you know that they want you to stop, that's gross. It's fucked up all the way around. It's a violation of another human. I don't have any love for anybody who would do it. We're gonna see what happens with these cases, but this is a lot of women. It's not ones or twos.
Yeah, I'm gonna say mine as Prodigy. Like if somebody says no, it's just like, all right, you're not into it, so that's it. And it's also like, from like a kind of personal thing. Like if a woman is not ready to go, like it's fucking painful for me.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like no fucking way that I'm doing any sort of thing like that. Yeah, I'm not fucking Mandingo. Mm-hmm. But listen, if I'm trying to shove that shit in and you're not ready to go, like it's like trying to fuck a goddamn a reverse cactus.
Yeah.
Like if that would be a thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's fucking painful. So I don't understand how dudes would even consider doing that just from like my personal thing. It's just fucking pain. I don't understand why somebody would even do that. It's fucked up.
All the way around. Here's the thing.
That's even beyond the psychological fucking damage that you're doing to this person. You know, that just it's fucked up
Yeah.
all around.
Yeah. Wet ass pussy, wet ass consenting pussy. That's what we into.
Yeah.
So Bella Thorne then.
Holy fucking shit. You break this down because I'm still fucking confused and the internet is mad.
Well, where I'm confused is I don't know really who Bella Thorne is, but supposedly she's a big deal. And she joined OnlyFans. And for those that don't know what OnlyFans is sort of like a subscription service that you pay whatever dollar amount that the content provider decides to charge. It could be, I don't know, $1 a month. What's that?
I said it's where Simps.
Damn.
So
Call them out, Kronos. Call them out.
It could be $1. It could be.
Hold on. I paid for porn, but not on OnlyFans. All right. Like I have no problem paying for porn, but I'm not paying for OnlyFans shit because that's.
But why are you shaming? Why are you shaming these workers though? I'm sorry.
I'm not shaming the workers. I'm shaming the Sims.
Yeah.
Like I said, listen. After we had Ella Darling, I paid for porn even before I even met Ella Darling. But after I met Ella Darling, it just kind of reinforced that. Listen, these are sex workers; they need to get paid. But like a lot of OnlyFans people, I mean, yes, they are sex workers, but it's mostly simps that are paying for OnlyFans shit. Like for me, like I have no problem paying for porn, but it's mostly simps. I mean, if y'all want to refute me, feel free to talk shit about what I just said. But
one thing that's interesting,
it's mostly simp shit because you're paying for like Instagram models to take off the clothes, and it's like it's simp shit.
Well,
most of them are not even like actual. They're not normally sex workers. You know what I mean? They usually they're just trying to extract money out of you without putting their toes in that world at all.
Well,
and this is where the Bella Thorne thing comes in, because she just did the ultimate simp move.
I mean, there's porn stars I follow on Twitter or whatever, so that's. I know.
Oh yeah, I do too. Yeah.
So I know that for a fact that they do have OnlyFans now. I don't know the purpose of them having OnlyFans versus like them like on like Brazzers and other sites and stuff like that. That's a whole economic money issue that I'm sure someone better knowledgeable about that industry like Ella could break down for us in terms of like how much of a percentage that they get off of wherever it is that they put their content out on. But
yeah, I could be wrong. So if they get more money on OnlyFans than they do out of like their actual like normal porn career, then I will reverse my statement and be like, listen, go to OnlyFans.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, like the OnlyFans shit, like I don't see.
Where your fella in the chat room says he follows an Instagram hottie on OnlyFans.
But does he pay for their OnlyFans shit though?
That's true. I guess you can follow, and you also can pay for exclusive stuff.
Yeah.
Well, listen.
It seems like OnlyFans is maybe like the kiddie pool for between going Instagram model to like dipping your toe into some porn before going into like full on porn actress kind of deal.
Not necessarily porn, because it's supposed to be for like exclusive content, because there are some people on there that aren't, like Cardi B's on there, and she's not shaking her ass. Well, she shakes it in videos, but she's not like showing her badge and stuff like that. So there's some people that are there just to have like exclusive content that you have to pay for to be able to see. So it's not all just tits and ass and pussy.
We should do a Be the BTI OnlyFans.
Well, where the issue comes up with this whole Bella Thorne aspect of it is that I guess Bella Thorne joined OnlyFans. I guess she has a huge following or whatever, and she decided to promote that she, for a I guess a price of $200, if you paid the $200, you would unlock some nude photos of her and everything. So some people or simps decided that they had that disposable income during a pandemic that they can just spend $200 to view a photo of somebody that they've probably haven't met or going to meet or ever physically come close to, and decided that they were going to spend $200 on that. When they spent the $200 on it and it unlocked, she was, I guess, not nude and everything.
Wait, before you go there, when she did finally post up, like she was the highest rated person on OnlyFans. Like she made $1 million in one fucking day. Because of the OnlyFans thing. Yeah.
Like I said, I don't know who she is, what she does, or whatever. I guess she's got some sort of like following where people just go crazy for her. I didn't know who she was a week ago. So people were like, "Yo, OnlyFans, what the hell? I just spent $200 and on one of your performers or whatever whatever you want to call them, but they promised that it was going to be nude. It wasn't nude. I want my money back." And it reminded me of how when Ella was on 2 weeks ago, how she said a big problematic part of why places like PayPal, like Venmo, don't mess around with the adult industry or try to steer away from it is because you have the what's it called, like rollbacks or whatever, in terms of like people contesting charges.
Yeah, she did.
And I guess apparently when all these people, because I guess there was obviously more than one person who decided $200 is a good investment on this whatever venture, they started hitting OnlyFans and be like, "Yo, I want my money back. This was false advertisement, blah, blah, blah. I want my money back. I'm disputing the charges." And I guess maybe they filed through the bank, and OnlyFans started to get hit with all this stuff. So OnlyFans decided to reduce or put a limit on what it is that a cap on what the performer, I guess, can charge, because I guess there was no limit on it. Yeah, which, I mean, it's capitalism or whatever. But I guess because of the people asking for so many refunds, they're like, whoa, we can't, as a company, take this hit if somebody just decides to try to fuck over a large number of people. And so a lot of sex workers who also do the OnlyFans thing it was sort of split. Some were supporting Bella Thorne, and then others were pissed because it's like, why are you in our lane fucking up our money now because you jumped out here and fucked up their system?
Well, no, you're missing
hold up. Yeah, hold on. Let me jump in. Goddamn. The pissed offness where you get the pitchforks and your torches are actually for Bella, because it sounds very clearly, again, reading the tea leaves of the internet, that she promised nudes and said nudes were not delivered. So said fans were angry about that.
Well,
hold on.
That's
you're
it.
still missing a huge part of this.
You're still missing some parts.
No, that's not the biggest part. Go ahead.
So when people started to retract their money, OnlyFans had no way to pay them back their money. And so they had to take money from other OnlyFans accounts to be able to pay back this money. And therefore, a lot of OnlyFans, OnlyFans told their customers outside of Bella Thorne that they couldn't pay them for the month, that they wouldn't get a paycheck until the end of the month instead of being paid weekly. And so that's why a lot of them were pissed off about Bella Thorne. Like, these are the OnlyFans, not the members, but like the actors or actresses or whatever that's part of that. They were mad because
content creators.
There you go. They were mad at Bella Thorne because OnlyFans couldn't pay them for that month because they had to pay back all these people from Bella Thorne's situation.
Okay, so I didn't read about that, but this is the biggest deal going forward, as far as I'm concerned, is that I read that OnlyFans. So usually when you do OnlyFans, and when you have fans that are paying for your service, the artists or content creators will get paid pretty much immediately. But now there's a 30-day delay because of what Bella Thorne did. And that is like a huge issue with your income if you are an OnlyFans content creator. You have to wait 30 days to get paid out your content. So she just fucked over an entire industry of content creators of OnlyFans because now they have to wait on a delay of 30 days to get their fucking money. And that to me is really fucked up. And the fact that her apology, she doesn't realize like the damage that she's done. Like she talked about her talking to OnlyFans to resolve the issue, but she's not really mentioning that she fucked over a whole bunch of people. Where this is literally
The livelihood.
their main financial means.
Yep.
And she was an actress and a voice actress. She had money.
Yep.
She decided to dip her toe into some shit, and she fucked it up by lying, and then fucked over all these other people. Where this is the only way that they had not. It's their main way of making money.
Yeah.
And the fact that she didn't want to address that is totally fucked up to me. So fuck her.
Yeah, I think all of this is stemming from, and that's a good point, Kronos. It's the aftermath though of her being a lying ass bitch. Like she scammed people. Had she, it's not about the $200 with the simps paying. Had she showcased what she advertised, which was supposed to be nudes, it sounds like, then there wouldn't have been no problems. But she lied. So
I mean, like, listen. If I were on OnlyFans, I'm sure there's very few male participants that are content creators on OnlyFans. But if I was a male content creator,
well, it's probably a lot, or probably less than women. Less than women.
Yeah.
way less than women. Way less. Let's be honest. Come on.
Less than women. Yeah, less than women.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure.
If I went on there and be like, listen, I'm gonna show my dick on OnlyFans for $50, and then I didn't do it, and weeks later, I would expect to be canceled.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it'd be rightfully so. I mean, people want to see my dick. I didn't show it. I would expect to be canceled. This to me would be an expected cancel. I wouldn't even call it cancel culture because, listen, I blatantly lied about it. You know what I mean? And I stole your money, so I deserve to have repercussions. And I think that's what people aren't really thinking about. It's like, if you're guaranteeing a product and you're not delivering on that product, then you're a fucking asshole.
Like, I want to know what's the difference between OnlyFans and Patreon, because I know a lot of
Patreon doesn't deal in porn.
Nudes.
they don't allow nudes on Patreon.
I don't think so. I haven't seen them.
Oh, wait, so wait.
I couldn't. Well, I have no idea if there's news.
I know
And also
nudes
with
are allowed.
OnlyFans, you can go live. You can do like a live camming show. I'm not sure you can do that on Patreon. If you can, let me know because I have no idea. Also, I guess from Stitch's point of view, I guess this is a big deal because she did a lot of Disney stuff. Because I guess she was doing a lot of project with Zendaya when they're both on the Disney Channel. So a lot of people kind of grew up with her and they're like, oh, she's going to get naked. I mean, so that's where a lot of...
Sorry. So is this the younger generation's basically Wendy Cooper?
Possibly.
Possibly. Winnie Cooper, not Wendy Cooper. Winnie Cooper.
Sorry. Oh,
talking about the winter years?
Or Topanga.
Maybe.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Topanga.
Maybe.
Listen, if there's an OnlyFans page for Topanga when I was in my teens, when she was in her,
you should
when I was in my late teens, when I was 18 years old, if I could pay to see her fucking pussy, I would have done it.
You know you would have.
Immediately.
You know you would have.
Yeah, Kelly Kapowski.
I'd have been a simp.
Oh, yeah. If this was Kelly Kapowski, if this is Tiffany Amber Thiessen, this would have been close. I'd have been like, fuck.
The tall curly
Elizabeth Berkley.
Yeah, wait, the tall one from Saved by the Bell, she was in, what was that stripper movie?
Showgirls.
I saw that movie just because I wanted to see her fucking ass naked.
How the hell did you see it?
Hold on.
I mean, look, movie theaters were pretty relaxed back then.
Oh yeah, way back then.
They can't tell the age of a black teenager. They thought I was 30 years old.
I remember trying to
I saw it in theaters, and then we walked out like an hour into it because it's like a 2.5 hour movie.
I stayed for the whole thing.
So
yeah, who walked
I've never
seen it as a teenager.
Yeah, I walked
The
out.
fuck you had better to do.
Well, this was years ago. I was the whole different. This is pre-Rona. This is pre-Rona, pre-9/11. There's a whole lot of different shit going on back then. But
Yeah, what you gonna do? Like, oh, let's leave this pussy on the screen to go play basketball? I'm like, no.
No. So first of all, the people that I showed up with, they were my ride. If your ride leaves, you leave with your ride. You don't just sit there and be like, I'm gonna walk home. No, I wasn't doing that.
You got some questionable friends.
You put it. This was OnlyFans back in like 1996. This is when you put it on the fucking certain porn channel where you couldn't really
tune
see
in room.
what was going on, but you might see a nipple, you might see a clit. You don't know because everything is all wavy and staticky and shit.
Bust out the tinfoil.
That was porn back then. Well, back then for all y'all, not for me because I was already on the internet back in like '96. So I knew how the fuck to get porn in '96.
So yeah, I don't know if that's a very good analogy if her fame equates to some of these other iconic ladies. I don't know because I didn't really know her like that, but I know that we talked about it last year because she directed a porn video or an adult video for Pornhub a year ago.
Oh, that's right. I remember that.
Yeah, so she was featured on there. She won an award or whatever, but she's still doing like Hollywood like films, I guess.
Okay, so this is gonna be fucked up. This is gonna be fucked up. I'm saying this ahead of time, but because she promised fucking nudes and shit, I could very easily see the internet doing some revenge fappening shit, and someone finding some fucking nudes of her and posting it online. I think that's going to happen.
That's already happened, and she did it herself. She already posted nudes.
No, well,
online.
See, I'm not talking about her releasing. I'm talking about the internet stealing.
She's been hacked before too. She's been hacked, and she's released her own shit. So both of those have happened to her.
All right.
Already.
Well, if that's happened, then why the fuck did she renege on the OnlyFans stuff?
Go on her OnlyFans page and ask her yourself.
Well, apparently, so
since you see his face, since you be simping for Griffith, go be simping for Bella.
I saw what she's leaked. It's basically it's her sitting there, like holding her naked breast, and that's it for 16 seconds.
I need to see kidneys. I need to see kidneys for 200.
Yeah.
You better be shitting on that rug for 200.
God dang, that's just
you know.
Damn.
I need her on the couch with 5 black men standing behind her.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'll transition to some video game stuff. We got some Avengers that's coming out. Is anybody planning on picking that up? I know Prodigy's been vocal about his disdain for it and everything.
Yeah. No, thank you.
I've been seeing reviews sort of all over the place. A lot of people that didn't like the beta are saying like, actually the real game's kind of fun. And then I've seen the opposite. So I've seen all over about this game. So
have the real game came out yet?
Yeah,
I think it had early release.
It had early release if you pre-order. There's people already playing. I guess or full release is either tomorrow or it's on the 4th. Full release is the 4th, which is Friday. So there you go.
I'm gonna pass on it. The Spider-Man thing has me a little bit interested, but I'm not going to pay $60 for the game. Just the art, it just didn't look good to me. The artwork of the characters. So I'm not really interested. So I'm gonna let this one sort of slide.
The thing for me, and don't get me wrong, I would love some co-op Avengers type fun, but I'm with you, Stitch, on the art just not appealing to me. And then I'm sorry, and I know this sounds nitpicky, but there's so many characters like Wasp, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye, and Vision that have so much more history with the Avengers from like the original 60s Avengers than Miss Marvel. That's just a weird add-on to me, and I'm just like, the fuck? What is she doing in here over Vision and Hawkeye and Ant-Man?
Well, this game isn't set in the 60s, and it's kind of
but hold on. No. I'm saying all of those characters I mentioned have, since the 60s, literally decades of Avengers history. They do. That's just a fact. Way more.
So,
than her.
I mean,
way more
you
than
didn't
her.
play. You didn't play the beta, so she's more of a. When you first start the game, she's like a secondary character.
Or
That's
are you
fine.
getting it, Old Ninja?
That doesn't change the fact that what I said, though, Old Ninja.
Wait, hold on. What'd you say? I'm catching
So
up.
I've said this before.
We're-
Real quickly, Kronos. I've said this before many times. Hawkeye, Vision, Ant-Man, Wasp, Scarlet Witch, all of them have way more decades of Avengers history than Miss Marvel. That's just a fact.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Are you planning on getting this, Old Ninja, or
So
just standing for it?
Cronus had talked about he's probably going to get it, and I think I'm on the fence, but I'm leaning towards getting it. Especially if he gets it, we'll be able to squad up and like do missions and stuff. I know one of the guys from Task from
Super
something, yeah, Super Shoe Show. He was really, really, really into this game. He was super promoting it. He was having a lot of fun. Actually, I don't even have his PSN, but I would probably link up with him if he was playing this game so much. He loved it a lot. And I know there's more characters coming. We already know Spider-Man's coming. Hawkeye's going to be like DLC. I don't know what else is going to be DLC, but it was fun when I played. It wasn't like exactly super perfect, but it was definitely a fun co-op game. So there you go.
Okay, so let me put because I play the beta, obviously. There are problems with the game, all right, and I think they try to do too much with the game. So one of the main problems is the RPG elements when it comes to loot. The loot system in the beta was all fucked up. Like, was more the loot system in Marvel's Avengers was worse than Anthem by fucking far. First of all, any of the loot that you pick up that you get, none of it shows on your body at all, and the vast majority of it doesn't really fucking matter. Like there's such minuscule fucking improvements upon what you already were that it basically doesn't even matter. And you keep getting, in the beta at least, you kept getting, like I would get gear that was slightly better than what I had, and literally within 30 seconds I could pick up something that was better than that.
That's weird.
But it was only minusculely better. You know what I mean? Even when playing the beta, and I played it for a couple of hours, I was just like, I immediately just even stopped really reading what everything was. I would just be like, is it green up or red down? Like, I guess, like the loot system was just like totally fucking broken. And I think that most people that are enjoying the game, they're just like totally ignoring that fact of it. I would much rather Square Enix to just like leave out the whole loot system. The game honestly would have been better if they left with the whole loot system, because it's fucking broken, and it's obviously broken. So I was interested. I'm still interested in the game, but I'm probably not going to buy it right away because of how broken that system was. Because you can't lead me into like this pseudo RPG game where like the progression system is so obviously fucked up. Like at least half of it was fucked up and poorly thought out, because I felt like they threw in too much stuff into this game that didn't really need to be there. And it was still like a lot of it was still fun, but the fact that when I picked up loot like so frequently that didn't really matter, it was just like, well, why am I even doing this? Like, what is the point of doing this?
Well,
so
I'm glad you mentioned that, Kronos, because I mean, we've seen in this generation some really good loot games. Obviously, Borderlands 3 being great, Diablo 3 being excellent. You know what I mean? And so, even to a certain extent, even though it's controversial to some, Destiny, for a lot of people, for the hardcore fans, had a pretty good loot system. So it feels odd to me, and these are your impressions from the beta, but it feels odd to me to have a game come out at the very end of a really great generation that can't get that right.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, unless the loot system improves your actual gameplay, you know what I mean, that improves your progression, like, why would you have it in the game? Like, honestly, if they just removed that whole shit out of the game, it'd be way better. Because they still had, like, experience points, skill trees and all that shit, but the loot system just seemed like what the fuck? What am I doing this for? Why am I picking this shit up? How's it making me better? And that was not answered in the beta. Oh, Ninja, you can correct me or give me your thoughts on this, but all the loot that I picked up was stupid ass shit that I didn't give a fuck about, that didn't make me look any better. It didn't improve my gameplay at all. Please tell me your thoughts on this.
No, I agree with you for the most part. I told you that when I played the beta, there was only one item and one item only that changed the look of my character, and everything else was like just kind of there. Like I kept picking up shit, but I'm like, well, does this really improve me? Or I'm like, well, I'm just gonna. They call it boosting, I guess. You can boost up um, loot to make it better for you, but then, like you said, you pick up stuff. Maybe like I don't know, the next stage, not even the next stage, the next room over, that's better than what I just boosted. So I wasted material.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that was another thing. Sorry. It was more than just the loot system. It was also the crafting system. Like, the crafting system was, like, so fucking obscure. Like, I didn't understand how it worked. I didn't understand why I'm picking up all these materials. Like, how is it making me better as a character in the game? So, let me hear your thoughts.
yeah, so I mean, the material stuff was weird to me because most of it literally, if it literally looked like what you already had on. At least with Miss Marvel, it was the same shirt but had different stats.
All of them.
It had different stats,
Yeah,
so I was
all
just
of them.
like, well, I couldn't tell exactly what was better, and like, you went a little farther than me, but there's the mission where you're supposed to go to a cold area, and I was like, well, I don't remember picking up loot that gave me stuff that improved my like stats against the cold.
Oh, I went a lot further than you in the
Yeah, I
data.
stopped to where I got to when you got to Jarvis and you got your first mission with Maria Hill. So I was like,
Yeah, no, I went further.
yeah, so
Way
I
further.
stopped right about there. So I was just like, well, I don't remember picking up loot that would help me against the cold. I didn't really know if it was like a separate menu system. So hopefully that got fixed. I mean, maybe it was
No, I mean,
hidden and they just didn't implement. I don't know.
you picked up some cold stuff, but it's just like, it seemed kind of dumb. I mean, listen, I'm shitting on it for like technical shit, but it's stuff that people need to know. It's not a fucking Kumbaya game, all right. However, let me give you the positive shit. Okay, playing as all the characters felt different, which was good. When I played as Kamala, Miss Marvel, I had a lot of fun. Because she's basically like a mix between like Spider-Man and Mr. Fantastic. Like seriously, she was so much fun to play as. So as playing as the Hulk, he felt like playing as the Hulk. Just fucking ran through people and fucked them up.
Yep, that was
Playing as,
probably my favorite so far. Was the Hulk? It was super fun to play as him.
but you didn't get the chance to play as Kamala though, right?
No, I did. There's a part in the first mission you get to play as her, and it's exactly as you described. She's like Spider-Man and Mr. Fantastic because I didn't know what her ultimate did, and I did it, and it made her super gigantic, and she literally rock bottomed somebody. It was like fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it was just like, and I like playing like I said, all the characters are vastly different, which is really cool. But I just wish that they just removed certain portions out of the game and it would make it more enjoyable. So I'm gonna wait because to me it honestly has like an Anthem bomb feel to me. And I recently played Anthem because I gave it another chance. Literally, like I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks ago. I was like, Anthem has a bunch of improvements. Let me go back and play it. Literally, I played it. Exactly the same problems. Exactly the same problems. I beat the game magically. I stopped playing the game on the last fucking level.
Damn.
And I beat the game. I was like, these are the same fucking problems that I had. There's supposed to be Anthem 2.0. Whenever that comes out, I have no fucking idea. But that game, it has similar problems as potentially as Marvel's Avengers, where it's like, listen, you're touting all these features that sound really cool, but it makes the gameplay wise, it makes it kind of shitty, And I hope that they fix those things. So I'm gonna wait for the reviews to come out and to see if they fix the issues that I'm talking about.
Mhm.
Because if they don't, I'm not fucking buying the game.
Sure.
And I know it comes out this week.
Comes out
Yeah,
Friday.
I think tomorrow.
Yeah, there's no fucking way I'm buying it before Friday. I'm expecting like between 6 and 8 reviews on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
I'm expecting 6 to 8. Seriously.
Ah, that's-
But they can improve. There's ways that they can improve upon it, but it's gonna take No Man's Sky level of
Updates.
updates to fix to make it a great game.
Well, just to point out too, we're at the cusp of a new generation too. So
Yeah.
We haven't got prices yet.
we still don't. You're right, but I'm just saying in terms of updates, that it's going to be interesting with the whole, transfer of saved data over to the PS5, and whether you're going to be more engaged in Miles Morales or Ratchet and Clank or whatever others. We'll see.
So I'm actually not so concerned about that because this current generation, it'll be around for at least another couple of years. And for people that are gaming right now, I don't think there's any new gamers that are going to buy PS5 right away. Like new people into this, whatever generation, they're not going to buy the latest and greatest, unless your parents are wealthy, or you happen to have a lot of money. But most people that are gamers, they've been gaming for life. You don't happen to pick up gaming at fucking 30 years old.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
I'm not really that concerned about that. What I am concerned about is the actual PS5. Like the fact that they have not announced the pricing yet, which unless it's like over like $1,000. Actually, I think $800 would be like my limit.
Yeah.
Which I don't think they're gonna. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be $500. Pretty sure, maybe 600, which is fine. But what I'm worried about is the system being so limited. Because I don't know if y'all saw it a while ago, like maybe like a couple weeks ago, that Sony sent out emails and social media posts about signing up for raffling to get a chance to buy the PS5.
Oh hell no.
To me, that was fucking extremely disturbing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, so are you really gonna limit the amount of PS5s that are come out? Because you told us that you're gonna up production. And I understand that COVID-19 has like fucked up a lot of shit, but like I said before on the podcast, just push it back. I have no problem with pushing back the PS5 at all.
Yeah.
Like if you pushed it back to like April of next year, I'm fine with that. But I don't want to have like a 200,000 unit run worldwide for the PS5.
Yeah.
That's fucking disastrous. Like,
I'm agreeing that would be disastrous. I'm hoping that they're not going that route. I will just point out though, brick and mortar retail is in trouble and has had a lot of problems, especially even GameStop. So I don't know how that's having an impact on, because a lot of people, when you're talking about the sale of the console itself, they're going to go to Wally World, Target, GameStop, maybe Best Buy. Like those are the big four for actually purchasing the console, and then fifth, obviously Amazon, of course.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because that's kind of more of my point, is because they're actually hurting brick and mortar stores, well, actually all stores, by weighing this. I've never in my goddamn life, and I owned an Atari 2600, in my entire gaming life, I have never ever seen a console delay the pricing of the console within 3 fucking months of it coming out. It's September. Actually, it's like 2 months, right? It's 2 months. Yeah. It's supposed to come out in November. We still don't know the goddamn price. I have no way to purchase a PS5 in September. What the fuck is going on right now?
It's unprecedented. Unprecedented. All right, guys. Do we have any B's and B's? Unless someone wants to chime in with anything else?
Okay. So hold on. I want to chime in with something right now. And I want to chime in with Clay the bartender.
Oh, yeah.
So hold on, I gotta bring it up because I have to actually say the whole name of. He advanced in the Rep Ya City cocktail contest.
Nice.
I think he's went through at least 2 different rounds where he's won. I could be wrong. I know he has won a custom bottle of Maker's Mark with his name on it. That's fucking dope as shit. And he makes excellent cocktails. Like seriously, when we went to Here's How, when I broke my Sober October thing, which I'm gonna do again this year, and I went to have a drink at his bar with him. He served me my first drink in a month, and it was fantastic. And he deserves all that. I hope he wins the entire contest. I don't know if it's over yet.
Where's this going on, Kronos?
It's nationwide.
Oh, okay.
As far as I know, I could be wrong, but it's like they're repping a bunch of cities. I think he's repping Oakland.
Nice.
Well, he is repping Oakland. I know that. But he makes fantastic drinks.
And what?
So I hope he makes it to the top.
Do they post the drink online or something like that, and you just like vote on it online to give him support, and then?
I think so. I gotta look it up. I should have
research.
But I think so. But obviously, we can't drink his drinks. But I can tell you, as somebody that has drank his drink, that his drinks they're fantastic. Like seriously.
Good shit.
I'll keep my eye out so we can make sure we support him.
I don't think we have any B's and B's, but hold on. Actually, Blue, did we mention anything? I think you were the one that found this. Powerpuff Girls live action. Goddamn, do I hate this. What is going on?
Oh, yeah, man. This is on the list for a while now. But, yeah, so CW is in talk of making a live action Powerpuff Girls. So the premise of the show is going to be like, the girls have their kids. They're basically adults, and they're kind of trying to figure out their life, like, post superheroism, and they're kind of dealing with the trauma of fighting crime their whole entire child life. So there's like this, they're basically just fucked up in the head, basically, and basically they have to come together to solve some kind of crime, and that's pretty much the gist of the whole entire fucking show. So I'm not sure how they're gonna. I mean, it sounds kind of cool with them showing like Powerpuff Girls like all fucked up in the head, but like I don't know, live action Powerpuff Girls show.
Do they still have their powers?
Yeah, they still have their powers, but I guess they just kind of stopped fighting crime. They just kind of gave it up. It's like them fighting crime as kids was just something that was fun to do. But as adults, they feel like they're basically like the Jacksons, where they spent their whole life in the limelight, but now that they're adults, people kind of forget about them, basically. So it's an interesting concept, but it's going to be kind of wonky.
It's an interesting concept, but at the same time, it's like, would you want to hear about He-Man's PTSD?
Nope.
Yeah.
Fuck no.
Yeah, I don't want to hear about them going to therapy and shit.
But if it,
the other thing that's weird though, they did a reboot on Cartoon Network, and for whatever reason, it didn't seem like it was a hit. I actually showed it to my kids. I thought my daughter was going to love it, but
I can tell you why. It's because the voices were different.
Well, so obviously my kids had never seen the original even. So this was their first introduction, and they were just like, I don't know.
Well, show your kids the original. See how they like.
Yeah. Well.
Show them any episode of Mojo Jojo. See how they like.
I think the entire first one is on it's on Hulu. It's Powerpuff Girls Classic. Yeah, that's on Hulu right now, so they can check it out on there. But yeah, the remake wasn't like I watched it and I tried watching it, and just the funness of the Powerpuff Girls was them just basically going out there fighting crime. Like, they just try to be too silly and kind of, like, I don't want to say they did, like, a Stevie Universe with it, but, like, they just try to make it too silly, and it just didn't, like, hold up to the show. Because Powerpuff Girls was basically about girl power and, like, them beating up everybody and having fun at the same time, but this one was like, oh, there's a cute little squirrel, but it's a squirrel type deal, and it just wasn't that great.
Is that your OnlyFans voice, Blue?
Oh my God!
Yeah. Real quick, I wanted to mention that the human warlock David Blaine decided he was going to fucking float his ass up to fucking space, or well, not up to space, but decided he was just going to
the upper atmosphere.
he cracks me up. I'm so fascinated by him. But I didn't even know it was going on today. I just happened to go through my phone and see people talking about David Blaine. I'm like, oh shit, what's he doing this time? Is he freezing himself on a block of ice or standing on top of a pole? He decided to get a bunch of balloons, float up in the sky, then while in the sky, put on a parachute, and then release himself from the balloons and sort of skydive down or into back on Earth and everything. And he's just so crazy and fascinating. I like watching his magic his magic sort of shows that he does, where he's always doing stuff with celebrities like Dave Chappelle, Steph Curry, and stuff like that. And he's just doing crazy shit, like pulling frogs out of his stomach and everything. It's just crazy random shit. And yeah, I know magic isn't fucking real, supposedly. But this dude, I don't doubt this dude. He's so good at what he does. I want to believe.
Hold on. You know what's crazy? People say magic isn't real, but if you explain this podcast in the way that we're actually doing it to somebody that lived in 1950, they would say it's magic.
They would also try to lynch us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Magic.
How
Magic
did
is
the
just
Negroes get so
guys
smart?
who don't know.
Murder them.
All right.
The other thing is real is UFOs are real, because
Yes.
once you
Air Force
identify them,
confirmed.
then they're no longer UFOs.
Yeah,
Well, hold on. This is this problem. When we say UFOs are real, it's still unidentified. So therefore, is it real?
I guess that's true too.
Something's
It's
flying
like a
up
two
in there.
lies.
If you can't identify something, how real is it?
Yeah.
Wait, is this reference to the guy with the jetpack? Y'all hear about
Oh,
that?
I heard about
Dude had
that.
Yes,
Dude had a
I did.
jetpack.
yeah, but that's not
Yeah,
unidentified.
flying across
Yeah, that was a Rocketeer.
Yeah, that's it. They knew
That was a Rocketeer.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
We're going full Mulder. All right. Blue, what you got populating this week?
Oh man, what am I not doing this weekend? Friday. I'm actually have the honor of photographing, doing a photo shoot with Professor. Is it Dankenstein or is he Professor X? I can't remember.
He's
Professor X
danking.
is the
Dankenstein, yeah.
is
So
the eight? Yeah.
he's getting married on Friday, and he asked me if I would do some of the photos for it, and I accepted. So I'll be doing that on Friday. I got to work on the pictures that I did of the cosplayer from Saturday, and they were, man, it was so. My photo shoot I did in San Jose near the San Jose Convention Center, which is where they have the Silicon Valley Comic Con, where Crunchyroll happens, Fanime, and San Jose was dead. We barely saw anybody. I probably saw maybe 5-6 people outside of the girl I was photographing, and it was crazy. Especially when I usually photograph at these Comic Cons. There's always other photographers, other cosplayers, and trying to find space to take pictures. It's a fucking challenge. But the fact that I had the open area to myself was great. It was so good. I didn't have to wait to take a spot. I didn't have to worry about people who already had their camera set up, people who were camping out. So that was a pretty cool experience to be able to experience. But other than that, I started a new job, so I'm just trying to get caught up and figuring out how all that works. I'm continuing my journey to becoming a network engineer. One cool thing about my job is that they have online courses with Udemy, which is a really good online course company. And so I've been kind of looking through there and trying to find out what courses I can take through there to help self-improve on myself. But other than that, I'm just chilling, hanging out with Sweetness, and that's about it.
Skate. Kronos, what you got?
I'm enjoying the Infinity Base.
Mm-hmm.
It is an excellent space so far.
Is it cold in there? How's the temp?
So it's insulated.
Yeah.
So it will stay warm or cool depending on what the temperatures are outside. I had to open up the windows recently during the podcast. But what's cool about what we didn't have before is that if it's hot in the Infinity Base, I can open up the fucking barn doors and the windows. Because before, if y'all knew, I don't know if y'all knew this, but formerly over the past 2 years, the podcast has been through a garage, which is not insulated at all, and then opening up the garage door was kind of a pain in the ass because folks could hear us outside the,
Oh, shoot.
in the street or whatever. So in this space though, it's sound insulated. If I have to, we can open up the doors. It's not really going anywhere. It's going towards like my bedroom, which isn't a huge deal, and I have a solution for that. I'm going to get some acoustic curtains for that, and also we can put in AC way easier. So we couldn't really put AC in the garage because there's nowhere for the hot air to go. In this space though, we can put in AC easily. Plus we have windows, so it's fine. Like, and the acoustics in here are much better. Like when y'all come over, when y'all eventually get here and listen to music in this space, fucking sounds fantastic. And just talking right now, it sounds great because not only is there no concrete floors, there's insulation and there's hardwood floors in this space. So everything hopefully sounds better on the podcast.
I was going to say, you sound great on this whole episode. Way better.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Because, I noticed, like, when I first moved in here on Saturday, I moved in on Saturday, and I started working in here on Sunday. Because, like, this workspace, or this podcast space is also my workspace. And I play music when I'm working. And it's like, fucking music sounds dope in here. Like, seriously, I was like, this is fantastic. So I can't wait for everybody to eventually get in here when it's safe. And eventually I'll do, like, a video, like looking around the building and like giving a tour of the building. Because when you look at it from the outside, it looks like a normal shed, but on the inside, it's like totally different. But it's also what's kind of weird because like the rest of my backyard is unfinished, so it looks all fucked up. It's like dirt right now. But then we have like this shed, and then inside the shed is like the studio. So I'll eventually I'll do a video about it. So, and I'm gonna do some reacts by myself. And see how that goes. So yeah, you look forward to more content coming out because it was hard for me to do content in a fucking garage where I didn't want anybody to see like, my refrigerator and fucking my comic books and all kinds of shit that shouldn't be. Just look fucked up. So in this space, I feel more comfortable with like having stuff. So if y'all look at the back right now, you see like the wire that is right here. Right here. That's it's unfinished. Like that's actually for like a speaker where it's gonna go. There's actually 4 holes in the ceiling for speakers for like a surround sound system. So
nice.
It's not completely finished, but it's finished enough for me to be in here, and for us to be in here. So this is all waiting for all of you that are one of the podcast members when we eventually are done with COVID-19, and I look forward to that, to us being reunited.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Stitch, what you got?
I am going to barbecue tomorrow some Korean short ribs. I haven't had that in a while, so I actually found a local butcher out here in Livermore. I was gonna go to like Ranch 99 and just pick up some short ribs from there, but one of my good friends he told me about this butcher he went to, and I was like, oh shit, I wanted to check that out. So it was might be my first time actually buying meat at like a legit actual like butcher. So it was really cool to see all the meat like set up and everything, obviously social distancing and stuff like that. So it was really cool to pick out cuts of meat and have them cut it for you right there to however thick it was that you wanted the meat and all kinds of stuff. So that was kind of really cool. And we'll see how that goes. So it's marinating in my fridge now. Also, The Boys season 2 drops this weekend, correct?
Yeah.
We were just talking about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I will be.
I watched the first 2 episodes,
I can.
and it's just as good as the first season. So
Good.
We're gonna go deep on it next week.
Yes, I'm running to marathon. I guess however many episodes they allow me to watch when it drops. So.
Hold on. This is the problem: is that I think that the Boys, they're only showing 1 episode a week this season.
Okay.
Oh.
Damn.
Which is
They
going to
did
be a
3
problem.
episodes last time, right?
No, they dropped them all at once.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
I have
okay.
access to all of them, and I need to like fix it to where all you guys can watch it. But yeah, so far it's just as good as the first season.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, the trailer looks pretty dope. And then been gonna play some Fortnite. They did a Marvel theme for Fortnite that is absolutely fucking amazing. You jump off the bus and they got the X jets flying like alongside the bed. Did you play it yet or no?
I've seen the trailer. I'm jumping on tomorrow. Let's play.
Oh my god, it's crazy. There's sentinels like on the ground and shit. There's like a Black Panther statue and all kinds of crazy. It's so fucking awesome. Battle passes are sucking money out of me. I'm not proud of it.
You're a simp for battle passes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm simping in September for battle passes, so let's see how that thing plays out. But it's fun. I'm loving it.
Good shit. Old Ninja, what you got?
First of all, happy birthday to Keanu Reeves. Turns 56 today.
Hey.
Like Stitch mentioned, I'm watching The Boys this weekend. I'm probably gonna dive into Avengers just for the fuck of it. I'm also watching Cobra Kai because Cobra Kai jumped on Netflix, so I've been watching that. Oh my god, it's such a good freaking series. It's done so well. I'm literally gonna finish the first season tonight. I'm on the last 2 episodes. It's such a good show. Gonna be watching Lovecraft Country. I'm probably gonna be on this Avengers stuff this weekend. I need to get on Ghost of Tsushima. I'm probably gonna get that this weekend as well. Other than that, just chilling at the house. I've been going to the beach a lot. Might go to the beach again on Tuesday. We'll see how the weather fares is, and yeah, that's kind of about it.
Before we switch gears, do anybody plan on watching Mulan this Friday? Because that gets released.
Oh, forgot.
Jared wants to watch it, so yeah, I'll probably watch it. Yeah.
I need Eddie Murphy Mushu. That's it.
Real quick, if you have kids, check out Emily's Wonder Lab on Netflix.
Okay.
Seriously. Yeah, my daughter loves it. She asked to watch it when she saw the thumbnail, and it's a really great show about science. It's the host is a woman who's pregnant.
Nice. Emily's Wonder Lab. I'm gonna check it out. Check it out with my kids. For me, I'm gonna start off some Resident Evil 7 and get down hopefully with Stitch on some basically Marvel's Fortnite. You know, it looks so fucking fun. I'll jump back in there. And for whatever reason, I've been listening to a whole fucking shit ton of Bob Marley because it makes me feel good in these depressing ass fucking times. Yeah. That's all.
Dude, have you listened to Tobe Nigwe yet?
No, I'm sorry. You recommended it. I will check it out. Tobe.
Seriously, the pandemic album that he came out with. I'm gonna do some reacts to it.
Nigwe.
It's just fantastic music about somebody who is not signed to a label but doesn't need to be signed to a label as far as I'm concerned. Please don't sign to a label. Do your own shit. What's great to me is that he's a dude. His parents are, I believe, Nigerian, and he has like a whole like crew with him, including his wife, and they're all artists and they do their own thing, and it's like really fantastic music. So check him out. I'll do probably a react on Sunday or something.
Sounds good.
Drop it.
Happy motherfucking Labor Day. Old Ninja, take us out.
All right, you just experienced the dankest podcast on the internet. We are Black and Black Times Infinity. Check us out every Wednesday night, 8:30 on YouTube, 8:30 Pacific. We can check us out anywhere with Beathan BTI. It's BTHAN BTI on Twitter, on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Player FM, on Spotify. Where you can check us out on Facebook, Black and Black Times Infinity.
Soon to be on Amazon.
We're on Amazon. We have an app on there as well. Check out our official website.
We will soon be on Amazon Music and Amazon and Audible. So we're going to apply and get on there.
What are we doing? iHeartRadio? Is that?
We should be on there, yeah.
Okay. And then check out our official website, BenHadProductions.com/BeathandBTI. And then on Twitch, twitch.tv/BeathandBTI. That's us. Check us out.
Send us emails. Give us some feedback on some stuff that you want us diving into.
Yeah. BeathandBTI@gmail.com.
Wakanda forever.
Hmm.
Stop simping.